Hey, wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people. A pleasant afternoon to everybody, or pleasant evening to everybody. All right, there is something that I want to address both to older women, younger women. I don't really hear men do this, so I have to direct it to the women. All right, and it's going to be twofold. Let's start with the younger or the young women. I realize when you look on social media or even in real life, you will hear young women talk as though they are never going to get old. So you'll hear them say, "Why this old man, this dinosaur?" And the vitriol is, it is horrible, and it is almost never ending. It's like they talk about a bottomless pit, and they have the idea that when you reach a certain age, you're old. Two, that if you're at a certain age, that you don't belong on the internet, that it only belongs to the younger crowd. Now, if they were real critical thinkers, they would realize that they're no longer babies. In other words, they weren't born the ages that they're at, that they're speaking this. They were at a younger age at some point. So they were 0 years old and a day old and 2 days, 3 days, and now they're at this particular age. Still considered to be young, to be youthful, which is good, And I would want to add that at some point, the women that you're talking about who are old and you're calling them very old and archaic and dinosaurs, that they were too at your age. They were once at your age. So the reality is this: if you continue to live, you're going to get to their age and somebody's going to say the things and worse about you when you get to their age. I guarantee you. Because whatever seed you sow, you shall reap. You're no longer 5, because you don't hear 5-year-olds doing that. You're no longer 10. You're probably no longer 15. You're more than likely in your 20s. Some of you may be very early 30s. And you're talking about these old women. I hear them sometimes and I chuckle, because I said in another 10 years, they're going to be at the same spot that these women were at. And somebody who is in their 20s, probably younger, their vitriol is going to be more intense. It's going to be more chronic. It is going to be more crazy and aggressive. So, the words are going to be worse. As the generation changes, they get wiser and smarter. And you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel pain. You're going to say, "Oh my God, I'm actually old." And if you call some of these people that I see you call old, then what would you call people who are in their 80s, 90s, and 100? What would you call them? Extinct? Would you do that? Is that how you speak to your own mother and grandmother? Mind you, I know you have some mothers and grandmothers who are horrible human beings. And I'm going to deal with the older women next. But some of the young people, may God help you, because you're going to meet your maker or your martyr because of some of the things that you have said to older women. The disrespect, the disregard, and I don't know, something must have gone awry. You could not be in your right mind, because there was a time when you were younger than where you're at presently. There was a time when you were younger. So therefore, it is telling a story that you are getting older. You two are getting older. You're not getting any younger, as far as I know, because you're not 1-year-old speaking, you're not a 2-year-old speaking, you're not a 3-year-old, neither are you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. You're twice the age or more, or thrice. So if I were you, I would desist from calling people old, because your turn next. And the words are going to be horrible. And all you're going to do is think back and say, "I should not have said that about people who are older." And who gives you the right? You have the audacity to talk about they don't belong on social media? I didn't know that when social media was made, it said only young people allowed. Stop it. A word to the wise is sufficient unto the day. My encouragement to you. Older women. It's similar to the younger counterpart that needs a proper beating. You too need a proper beating. Let me tell you, my experiences with mostly, more often than not, with older women have been horrible. You have some good ones that I've experienced, but more often than not, the older ones have been horrible. I don't know if society has convinced them that they are of no use. I don't know if society has convinced them that they're ugly. I don't know if society has convinced them that they offer no contribution to the society, but whatever it may be, addition to the trauma that they would have experienced during childhood, because it has to be that. Why some of you are worse than Jezebel. I can't use Delilah because Delilah is more for a trickster in terms of, tricking men and doing her thing. But so we're going to stick with Jezebel for now. I mean, Delilah is a horrible person too, but you make Jezebel seem good. You make Ursula seem wonderful and beautiful. And you make Cruella like a wonderful woman. Some of you older women, you have been horrible. You have despised the youth of younger women because they're youthful. They probably are beautiful. They're bright, brilliant. They can offer greatness to the world. And because you probably had failed in doing same, you decide that if you didn't have it then, they are not going to have it now. But God has his leather belt ready and waiting for you older women. The ones who have failed to follow what the book of Titus, I think it was, that says the older woman must guide the younger one. The older woman must guide the younger one. Many of you have failed miserably. You get negative 100% on the exam paper. Negative 100%. And I'm being good when I give you the negative 100%. I can think of some of you that I've done nothing to. You have been, I can't even say like a thorn in my side. That was not even warranted. I'm not even sure how to describe you. You're like a dagger that is left in somebody's foot. And no matter what they do, they can't get it out. A dagger. Twisted. That's how horrible many of you older women are. And perhaps part of your beating is the younger one telling you you're old. You need to come off social media. You're a dinosaur. You're extinct. What you have is it has no bearing to the world. There is no growth and development from what you have to offer to us. You're a disgrace to the human race. Perhaps that is why some of you get that, because technically some of you are. You have been horrible human beings in the life. You have been a nuisance in the lives of many young people. In mine and in others. I mean, I'm not as young as back in the day, but even when I was younger and now at this stage, some of you still are. You're horrible human beings. And your day of reckoning is coming. Yet, as somebody would say, at 10 o'clock will come. Maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. It is coming. It is coming. If I were you, I would make recompense, apologize, and start to sow seeds of kindness and goodness. That's why many of you did bad. You did so bad. God beat you no go and beat you no come. Because of the evil, the wickedness that you have done and think it was forgotten by God. The wickedness that you have done to many young women. Especially if the women are beautiful. They're brilliant, they're gifted and talented. Oh, many of you, I'm so sorry for you. Because your day of reckoning is certainly coming. So all in all, my encouragement to both young and older women, do good. Because if you don't, bad will eventually follow you and you will not like the aftermath. Anyway, guys, you know what to do, read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe and give me one of those lions.